I posted on LinkedIn that I'm in New York, and guess what? 1 hour later, I got an invitation from Juliana from Mastercard, and she told me, come on, visit our Inno Lab. And today I meet Nima, who is the Senior Vice President and works in the Innovation Lab. So I'm curious, what are you doing exactly on innovation at Mastercard?
Well, at Mastercard, our focus is on empowering people, empowering economies. And how we do that is through innovation and technology.
And that's your innovation playground?
Yeah, welcome to the Mastercard Experience Center. So imagine in the future you might be in a virtual environment or a metaverse. And we wanted to test to see first, can we capture the right behaviors? And then secondly, can we authenticate you accordingly? So we're not going to ask you to put the headset on today, but what we've done is we've set up a virtual environment. So I'm going to ask you to stand here, Jürgen. Yes. Stare at that. And you got to hold your stare for, see, we're basically capturing what you're looking at through this camera.
Okay.
You can come in a little closer. Hold your gaze for 3 seconds to do the navigation. No, you can put your arms down. So as you look around, you can imagine you're in a virtual environment. Now you're in a store, but maybe it's a store that's in a future metaverse. And every item you look at, you need to just hold your gaze for, so you're navigating with your eyes. It's a new behavior, and this is what we were testing. You can then pull up information about it, and if you decide to add it to your cart, your finger is throwing off the tracking. Just with the eyes only.
Oh, okay, with the eyes only. So
eyes only. So add it to the cart. And then when you go down to the cart to check out, so in here what we want to ensure is that you're not checking out too quickly or you're not blinking and buying something by accident. So there's a little bit of friction that we're adding that's very deliberate to make sure that you're ready to purchase. And you can see that it's already set up with your Mastercard on file, and you're just going to run this quick challenge as a way of checking out. And now those cookies are on their way to your house. I'd like to share with you Safety Net, which is one of our kind of key solutions. And so here I'm showing you a visualization of an attack that started in Latin America on a Mideast bank. And we've seen attacks like this in the past. And what they did is they were able to get some card numbers and essentially print those cards and distribute them to money launderers around the world.
It's all over the world.
23 different countries. The money launderers with the cards are able to then go and attack the ATMs and pull out cash in real time. So in this simulation, what you see is in a 5-hour period across 23 countries with hundreds of operatives, they're able to extract roughly $36 million. And what our AI models are able to do is detect patterns that are irregular. So we can see when an attack is taking place, sometimes before the banks themselves.
How many of these attacks usually take place per day?
So our network, of course, is quite secure against these types of attacks. There's lots of attempts, but we see roughly anywhere from 200 to 400 attacks on a given day against issuers and merchants.
What's the next one?
So our digital identity solutions are also quite powerful. And what we're trying to do in these cases is identify good users from bad users. We want to make sure the person behind the transaction is a legitimate actor. And so you can see there's a lot of different elements that make up a digital identity. We're looking at hundreds of data points in near real time to understand the context of the transaction. We can look at both the things like the location.
You can detect that my mobile and my Mastercard fits.
Correct, right. So we're looking at the context behind where you are, what your device ID is, and how you're using the device.
But how does it work? You see that I'm in New York.
If you've purchased a ticket to New York, your phone is here, your behaviors are consistent, the transaction makes sense. Now, if all of a sudden there's a transaction 30 minutes later in another country for an amount that's atypical, it's not a typical amount, or the behaviors of your device are a little bit off. There's so many different data points that go into the calculation, so it's very much dependent on what your patterns of spend are and against the location and of course your device.
Such a great experience. Who will be the next one to invite the Expedition Finance?